Hello, sinners. Twinkle's here. Do you like cheats? I love cheats. Enjoy.
There comes a time in life when you've seen it all. They call it experience, knowledge. You can see the patterns, the signs, the predictability. Being a teacher for any length of time, you can see what's being played out in front of you. The lies, the laziness, the rivalries, fears, the raw humanity. It's all there in the classroom. You can literally see the future theirs. It was always plain to see until the boys arrived. Nothing unusual to see. They were unremarkable. Just there, going through the system. Two names, two faces, two personalities slowly coming to understand the world they were in. Yes, understanding it and quietly interpreting it. That's when they started getting A's. In itself, not remarkable, except they got A's in everything. Before, they weren't even close. The months passed, the A's continued. Teachers separated the boys in exams, checked their baggage. Still A's. It became the sole conversation point for the teachers. How? Because they weren't exactly the sharpest knives in the drawer. Bright, yes, a light on, but not that bright. These are C-grade kids. Everyone agreed, so how were they constantly getting the A's? That was the question to which nobody had an answer. Nothing would fit. No answer. The shape that somehow went into the wrong hole. To the teachers, this was the most troubling issue they had ever encountered. And it went on and on all the way through to university and even beyond. The mystery was never solved. A puzzle without an answer as the boys went off to university still getting top grades. The boys? Well, they smiled, knowing something others didn't. They were close friends, always together, always smiling. Then life took them their separate ways. They left education and walked into the professions. They got married, had their own families, became proud members of their communities, until one day it all came crashing down. William saw his youngest daughter in agony. Terrified with concern, he raced to hospital emergency, where nurses were waiting to take control. After what seemed like hours, his old school friend Tom arrived. Each was delighted to see the other. Tom was now head surgeon in the hospital. Tom comforted William. "I have to thank you for teaching me how to cheat all those years ago. I would never have been able to pass my medical certificate if it wasn't for you," he said. He told William that things would be fine, a normal, everyday procedure. Things were going to be fine. At the desk, a nurse asked another who was senior for the operation. "Dr. Death," came back the answer. The nurse crossed herself. "Poor girl," she muttered. The hours passed. William's wife arrived, having raced across the city. They held hands, their nerves frayed. He came in slowly, nervously, his eyes full of pity. William looked, searching. His friend shook his head. "But you said it was routine." His wife screamed and fell to the floor, William catching her, holding her tight as her pain hit him. She screamed and fought him as he desperately tried to comfort her. He looked at Tom as he walked away. Hate wasn't enough. He wanted vengeance. It was a week later, at the funeral, that matters took an even worse turn. As the funeral procession made its way, a sudden earth shock terrified everyone. For almost a minute, the earth moved and people screamed. Then it stopped. In the back of William's mind was a thought of work. He dismissed it and continued his goodbye for his daughter, holding his wife tight. Only when he got home did he realize what had happened. Turning on the news, luxury high-rise buildings had collapsed. Perhaps 300 people had died in the rubble. He looked at the film footage and went cold. Many buildings had survived, but 3 had collapsed. They were his buildings, his designs as a senior architect, the ones he said were unbreakable when he was questioned by others. That night he couldn't sleep. He thought again and again about his designs, the questions he brushed away. He dressed for work slowly. He watched the bulletin updates, and there, in front of him once more, Tom missing. He had bought one of the luxury apartments, now rubble. William made his way into work through the main doors. The secretary, acknowledging him as usual, called for him, "Sir, a note for you." He took the note, walking in a numbed silence to his office. Briefcase on floor, sit, note in hand, open it. See me immediately. Signed as J, a senior in the firm. He walked to the office, knocked, went in, sat down. Each looked at the other, both in a state of shock. "You saw?" said Jonathan. William nodded. "Each building that collapsed was ours." "Our design, your design," he corrected himself. "You signed off on it, too," corrected William. He was suspended indefinitely. Time began to torture him until the inevitable knock came. The police had arrived with a warrant, the media in full blaze, to follow his every move. Sometimes expensive lawyers don't help. The charges seemed eternal. Manslaughter, fraud, deception, falsified accounts. But it wasn't any of that. It was all a lie. A lie. William thought and saw his old school friend. "I know how to cheat at exams," he had told him. "No need to work hard." No need to work hard at all. Tom had smiled. "Show me." He had said, and they became friends.
Sign in your blood. You know you want it.